to benevolent beings. So there's some things, some understandings that I'd like to try to relay. One of those is these entities, these rabid creatures, have been doing this shit for a long time, where they try to rape and I do use the word try. I hope you can understand why I do that. I don't give them any quarter. They've been doing this a long time. Because they're dead, because they're parasites, and this is their way of trying to stay in manifested creation where they do not belong. They've been trying to rape frequencies and vibrations from benevolent beings for a long time. And the way they see things is because they're using technology, because they see humanity as cattle, when really it's not that way. Humans outrank them. These are parasites. They're dead. They shouldn't be here. What they've done is they've set up a system of forced violence and violation via technology and trauma. This is not how outside of this place works. And if you still resonate with the idea of a universe, this is not how the universe operates. That is not how this works. How it works is there are organic laws in place, which is why they've long ago they erected the artificial frequency fence that surrounds this place, so they can try and obstruct organic correction here, and possibly true benevolent assistance. They're trying to, they see humanity as a food source. Now, I'm sure most of you, if not all of any benevolent beings listening, know that. The point I'm trying to make here is because they're dead, they're rabid, they're insane. So even though it's a challenge, when you're dealing with the AI, the artificial intelligence, the frequency weaponry, I know it's a challenge, but it's imperative to remember that you have to treat them like they are psychotic 2-year-olds. You have to tell them what to do. You have to enforce your commands. You have to enforce organic laws. Now, I realize it's a challenge with frequency weaponry. They have access to it, and they forcibly use it. So it's hard if you aren't familiar with your own energy bodies and your own being and how your energy works, your astral body and things like that. If you don't already understand how to protect and defend yourself in that way, with your energy, with standing in your power, standing in your authority, overriding their bullshit. Now, in saying that, please know that it's still a challenge. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it's still a challenge for me also. I'm simply trying to relay some understandings that may help benevolent beings to combat what these dead entities try to force. Sometimes it is perspective and mindset that assists in fighting and standing your ground and making progress. So it does help to come from a perspective of, you know better than they do. They're dead. They're rabid. You outrank them. You would be, an analogy would be the parent of a handicapped child that's autistic and violent. Right? You have to find a way to try and control that child so it doesn't murder you in the middle of the night. Right? Like, you have to, it's perspective. I realize that's not a great analogy, but they're like psychotic 2-year-olds with a knife. I mean, we have to find a way. And part of that way is learning how your own energy bodies work, your own astral body works, how you can protect and defend yourself with your energy, with your mind, with your envisioning skills, with your imagination, with your will, right? You're using everything within your being together to come up with methods and tactics to best protect and defend yourself from, and it is a challenge with frequency weaponry, but perspective and mindset does help, and it helps benevolent beings to remain strong and stay in their center and stand in their power and authority and take command, that you're not going to put up with it. You're not going to put up with bullshit. You're not going to put up with them trying to torture and harm you. That you can use your energy in what you have within you in combination. Now, sometimes it's trial and error, but using what you have within you in combination to combat the frequency weaponry and to force out, what they're trying to force. Releasing things that don't belong to you, refusing to take responsibility for things that are forced, sending their shit back. Like, there's quite a number of things that one can do in combination that can help to better protect and defend themselves. But it is, like I was saying, I know that analogy isn't great, but they're psychotic 2-year-olds with knives or guns or, whatever the weapon, you feel that it is. And we have to take command. They shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be doing what they're doing. They are totally in the wrong. They have to be removed from this place because they don't belong here. They are not allowed to be using that weaponry here. That weaponry is not allowed here. We have to be, as best we can, taking command and forcing them down, forcing them out. Knowing the truth of things. That's one of the biggest things, is because they're using frequency. It's not really fair because they're using frequency weaponry to try and enforce lies. So when you're in the presence of a specific frequency that's a lie, or that's trying to enforce a lie, it's hard to override that. It's a challenge because your neurology is exposed to that frequency. Your emotional body is exposed to that frequency. It doesn't mean that it's true. It means they're using frequency weaponry to try and enforce it. When really, when you know that what they're vomiting is lies, not accurate, wrong, and you know the truth of things, you have to pull up the truth frequency within you and make it override their lies, their lie frequency. And then you have to put them in their place. They're psychotic 2-year-olds with a weapon. That's not allowed. It's not right. It won't be tolerated. And force them down. I mean, they shouldn't be here to begin with. Now, I don't know how they arrived here, got here. I've heard stories. Who knows how accurate those are. Either way, they don't belong here. That technology doesn't belong here. They are subject to organic laws. They are. They will vomit lies all day long, upside down, every day, all day, backwards, forwards, trying to get humans to believe that they're right. They are not right. It's just a parasite trying to sustain its stay in this place. They're rabid. They're wrong. Their lies are wrong. So we have to always, as best we can, be knowing the truth of things and be putting them in their place, taking command, overriding their lie frequencies. Like they try to come at it like they're the, let's say they're the parent, but they're not. Like I'm sure you've seen examples of where in families where children bully the parents. And the parents are so concerned with not upsetting things or trying to avoid confrontation or trying to be their friends, right? You can't do that. Children will require discipline. And sometimes you just gotta, lay shit down. The parents are the ones in control, not the child. Now, they are not technically the child. They're psychotic, parasitic, dead entity. But their behavior, right? Like, they are not the parent. They are not they are not the authority. It's a rabid dead entity that should not be here. And they must be put in their place. It's called non-existence. They do not belong here. They are subject to universal laws, organic laws. They are in violation of all organic laws many, 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 many times over. They cannot be mind raping. They cannot be using that technology here. They cannot be obstructing correction. They cannot be obstructing universal laws, organic laws. They cannot be raping inherent things from beings. They cannot be trying to wear and use things that they've raped. These creatures are so rabid. They must be removed from existence. In no dimension or reality or universe is that kind of insanity and rabidity acceptable. or right or allowed. So I do realize it is a challenge sometimes with the frequency weaponry. There's a reason why they come at beings as hard as they do, because they know that they're wrong. They know that they shouldn't be doing what they're doing. They're trying to get away with it. We have to, be strong enough to take command. They're psychotic 2-year-olds with the weapon. They need to be dealt with. They need to be put down. We need to be the ones handling them, commanding them. It is extremely helpful if you're aware of your own capabilities and abilities and skills and gifts, to be able to be using those. Your imagination is an amazing ability and skill and tool. Your envisioning skills, your will. You must have a very strong will. And you must know how to use it. And with will comes with that, or is helpful to work in tandem with your knowingness and your belief. So believing, like knowing that you can do something, but also believing it. And using your imagination and your will to carry it through. Know when you do something, even in imagination land, right? That it's going to be done. Like when you release something that they're trying to force, believe that it's going to be released from you, because it's not, whatever they're trying to force isn't yours. You're not going to take responsibility for it. It doesn't belong to you, and they shouldn't be trying to force it on you. So when you release it, know that it's going to be released, and believe that it's going to be released from your being. Because that's how things work. Now, they've tried to cover that up and hide that and all of that. But when you know how things work, what they're trying to do is, use fear and trauma and the other things to try and force. They're trying to play keep away with I'm going to rephrase because that's not quite how I want to say it. It's distraction. They're trying to keep benevolent beings so distracted that we don't have time to center and intuit the truth of things and realize that we can end them. That's why they try to come at it hard and fast. They know that they're in the wrong. They know. And they're fucking scared to death. Well, they're in massive fear that we're going to realize the truth of things. And it's, their shit is all a farce. What they're trying to vomit, what they're trying to vomit is lies. And once we know that, then we come at it from a different perspective. So they come at it hard and fast. So even though they're coming at you like they're some kind of an authority, or like they're trying to, well, that's it. That's what they're trying to come out of it as. And that's not the case. That's not right. And that's not how that is. They're just a psychotic 2-year-old with a weapon that's in massive fear. So hopefully that understanding is worth contemplation. And maybe it's, it can be helpful. And I think there were some other things I wanted to kind of touch on. I can't think of them right at the moment. So I might do another recording. But to keep this short, I think I'll go ahead and say that once again, I'm only speaking to benevolent beings. You are, benevolent beings are strong. And know that you're a powerful being. Know that you outrank parasites. Psychotic 2-year-olds with a weapon. That need to be put in their place. And know that with what's within you, your abilities and your gifts, you can do anything. Why do you think they tried to rape that stuff? So no, if you are one who's, being targeted with technology, and you have entities trying to rape you, it's because those are your it's because those are gifts, abilities, skills of that benevolent being that they are jealous of, envious of, or trying to, that's why they're trying to attack and trying to rape. I'm sure benevolent beings, are in knowing of that already. So, but the thing is they shouldn't be here. They're dead. They're rabid and insane. They're jealous and envious. That's too bad. They don't belong here. They have to be removed. They're not allowed to obstruct universal law correction. And that's something that must be corrected. Hopefully, we can manage it. It still doesn't, whatever's outside of here, from where I stand, seems to be complicit and corrupt. So, I mean, hopefully it would be nice to think that, you know, whatever's outside of here is benevolent and, you know, maybe they're just MIA. I don't know. I don't know. But there hasn't been true benevolent assistance yet. So that would, you know, based on all the facts and what I've seen and what's gone on here, it really does seem like whatever's outside of here is also complicit and corrupt. So that sucks. For the rest of us, it means that we have to do what we can to get ourselves out of here and do our best to try and enforce correction. And this shit's got to stop. This is not how, what they're forcing here and trying to do here is not how that, you know, a universe operates. It's incorrect and wrong and inverted and backwards. So it must be corrected, and benevolent beings, benevolent life force energy must be freed from here. Or, you know, like I said, or bigger things happen that they are not in control of, and that will affect more than just this place. Because they've obstructed organic correction, if outside of this place they have the same kinds of operations going on elsewhere, what I'm saying is, once universal laws, organic laws are triggered, the backlog of organic manifested corrections, like the sheer, I hope you can see what I'm saying there, the sheer magnitude of organic law manifested corrections are in such backlog, and that backlog is so massive that once organic laws are triggered, it's not going to be just here, it's going to be fucking everywhere. And if they have this kind of shit show going on elsewhere outside of here, when I say the implosion of a universe, that's kind of it's kind of what I'm saying there. Because who knows if this shit show, I have a feeling that the shit show has been being done in other places. And how far afield outside of this place is the shit show? Is it the entire universe? Is it half the universe? Or whatever's outside of here? Is it all of outside of here? Is it half of outside of here? Is it just this place? It's a challenge to think that it's, with the lack of true benevolent intervention, it's a challenge for me to think that it's just this place that's corrupt. So outside of this place, and depending on how much of outside of this place is also corrupt, once universal laws are triggered, the sheer backlog um, how does that the way that that will affect the entire universe when all universal organic law manifested corrections are all of a sudden enforced all at once for many places. And how will that, how that might affect an entire universe? What the result or ramifications of that are. So hopefully that made sense. And the more of us that stand in our power and authority and take command enforcement of the truth, then we can, once we are in the full presence of universal laws, we contradict all the lies, all the wrongs. So that's why it's so important to continue refusing consent. Because your refusal of consent does stand in the presence of universal laws. And we must stand the truth. We must stand in truth. Because we contradict all the wrong that they are. So stay strong. Know that you are powerful beings, capable of amazing things and great feats. Know yourselves well. That is extremely one of the most important things that's needed for benevolent beings to do, is to know themselves well. And to find that place in themselves, their frequencies, their own, or, that place within you that you call home. Commit those emotions, those feelings, those thoughts, those frequencies and vibrations to your memory, to every cell, fiber, and molecule of your being. If you've got to write down things to help trigger remembrance, or music, maybe there's music that helps you to easily come back to those frequencies, that place within you that you call home, that must be kept safe within you. And no matter what kind of vomit is coming out of their vomit holes, they're not allowed to try and rape that, to try and take that, to try and possess, to try and wear and or use it. Like what's inherent within you is yours. They don't have any right to be attached to you, to be accessing any of your frequencies or any part of your being. They don't have any right to try and rape anything from you. That's not for them to do. That is not for them to do. They are parasites. They're dead. They shouldn't be here. So they have no business being anywhere near you or trying to rape anything from you. That is not how this works. All right, so do what you need to, whatever you have to protect and defend yourselves. This is a rigged system that's absolutely, totally wrong, and they shouldn't be obstructing organic correction. So do whatever you need to do to protect and defend yourself. Right? They aren't adhering to universal laws. They've forcibly made this a rigged system. That's not allowed. It's not. So do whatever you need to do. We have to try and get ourselves, or we have to work. I'm going to rephrase. We have to work to get ourselves out of here and to enforce correction and to trigger universal law correction. Because this shit's got to fucking stop. Benevolent beings must be freed from here. And the malevolence, the parasites, the demons, the archons, the demiurge, they all have to be removed from existence. They are wrong. It is wrong for them to be here. So take care. And stay strong. Till next time.